Gemini, what's up, y'all? What's going on? What it good? What it do? We're going to take a little look and see what's going on in the second week of June. Yes, I'm doing weekly updates now. I'm cramming that in the mix of everything else that I'm doing. So remember, the weekly updates are just a short, sweet, quick, general, energetic overview. I'm not digging into all these different situations and scenarios. Short, sweet, and quick. Take it if it resonates. Chuck it if it don't. Hopefully you can come out of this with some good advice, though, that you can take with you on your journey, no matter what you're dealing with. Anyway, for those of you in need of a personal reading, you can find all the information in the description of this video. And I got to talk about the courses real quick, okay? So something kind of unexpected happened. We are actually changing platforms. So after June 9th, the courses are all going bye-bye for a temporary period of time until we switch to the new platform. This was totally unexpected. We ended up finding out that the platform that we use for the courses is tripling their monthly service fee. Tripling. Fucking tripling. So right now, between now and June 9th, we're offering a bundle for all 7 of the courses. My courses are How to Read Tarot, Part 1 and 2, How to Attract Your Life Partner, Finding Your Life's Purpose, Manifesting Financial Abundance, The Steps to True Healing, and The Beginner's Guide to Manifestation. Those are all the courses that I have so far. And I am working on a new one behind the scenes. But after June 9th, they're all going down. And honestly, I have no clue when they'll be back up. I don't know how long it's going to take to get all of those videos ripped and uploaded and put together and everything all. That's a very long, drawn out, extensive, time-consuming process. So between now and June 9th, there's a bundle for all 7 courses. Okay, so the link for that is in the description. If you purchase the courses, you have access to them permanently. But after the 9th, if you haven't bought any of the courses, I cannot promise you when they'll be back up. Hopefully it's not too long, but honestly, it takes about a month to put one course together. So with 7 of them, there's no telling how long it's going to take, okay? So, all right, let's jump into this. Let's just get a general energetic overview of the situation you're dealing with and the person you're dealing with's energy. Gemini's situation and the person they're dealing with. Let's see how it's looking. How's this situation looking, universe? Gemini's situation and the person you're dealing with. Let's see. Queen of Wands reverse. Hang on. All right. Some of you could be dealing with a fire sign. They think for some reason that you just don't care. I don't know why they think that. I don't know if you've been putting forth work and effort to try to make them think that, or if they're just projecting. I don't know. I don't know. So, I don't know. This connection is starting to get weaker. I don't know what's been happening between the two of you. You know, I don't know if you've been on and off, because I do have the karmic wheel here. I don't know if y'all have been on and off or what, but this connection is so weak right now. Like it's just energetically hanging on by a thread, you know. So there could be a third party in the mix too for some of you. If you're dealing with somebody that you're not in communication with, I do feel like they want to talk to you. They just don't know how to approach you. Don't really know how to start a conversation with you. And honestly, it kind of feels like they're losing some feelings too, honestly. I mean, they're feeling the weakening of this connection, you know. It's just not as strong as it used to be. I don't think that they've completely let go of this and that they're completely moving on from this, but it does not feel nearly as strong as it did a couple of months ago. You know, like I said, they do want to talk to you. They do. They just don't know how to start a conversation with you. They don't know how to approach you. They don't know how to break the ice with you. So let's see what their deepest feelings, energies, and intentions are. Person Gemini is dealing with. What are their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions? What are their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions? Two more shuffles, two more. Boom, Hierophant reversed. Devil card. So, well, at the end of the day, this person does want to be with you. I think they do. If they could make a wish, or if they could bust out a magic lamp and rub it and a genie pop out and grant them a wish, they probably would wish to be with you. But like I said, the connection's just not as strong as it once was. Not quite. Not quite. They do miss what y'all used to have back in the day. They miss the way things were. But they're kind of starting to feel like, you know, I guess it's just a done dollar. Just a done fucking dollar. Dun 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 dun. If you dealt with somebody who had an addiction issue or a drinking problem or something like that, no, they have not gotten clean. I know that's not all of you, but I know it's a couple of you. Could be a Capricorn for some of you. For those of you who are wondering whether or not this person has learned their lesson, I don't know who's asking that question, but the answer would be no, they have not. They do feel a really strong feeling of unfinished business, but like I said, at the end of the day, they wish it would have worked out. They do want to be with you. They miss what you all had, but they're just kind of leaning into, I guess it's just done. It just ain't going to work out, you know? All right, well, let's just get the advice here. What's the advice for Gemini with this situation? What is the best advice for my Gemini friends? Two more shuffles, two more. Boom. Focus on your work and your finance, boo-boo. Death card again. Well, if that's what they're leaning into, then just let it be that then. I mean, if they're leaning into that for whatever reason, then just let it be that then. Let it be that then. I would, some of you have already done this, but I would shoot them a message. Let them know how you feel. Don't be pushy. Don't be like, you know, persistent and needy and begging or anything like that. But, you know, I would just shoot them a message. Let them know how you feel. Let them know what your intentions are. Let them know what your feelings are. But then also let them know, but, hey, if you ain't trying to make this happen, then it is what it is. I wish you love, light, success, and prosperity. Stay blessed. You know? Yeah. Close this out. Because I got news for you. I got news for everybody out there. See, closure, no, it doesn't matter what you want to do. Closure has to happen. This is the thing that people don't really understand. And a lot of people don't understand what closure is. At the end of the day, closure isn't something that somebody can give you. It doesn't really work that way. Closure is something you have to find in here. Because let's say, for example, you want to be with me and I don't want to be with you. And I try to give you closure and you refuse to accept it. Well, then did I give you closure? No, I can't. Even if I give you closure, you still have to agree to close it out in here. Most of the time, because that's a very common question that I get in my readings. Will this person ever give me closure? Now, let's dissect that a little bit. What they're asking is, I have a preconceived idea in my mind of how I want this situation to go, what I think this person wants to tell me, what I want to hear this person tell me. I have it all drawn up in my mind of how I want it to be. Will this person validate that for me? That's what most people are wanting to know. And most of the time, the answer is no. Another thing I hear from time to time is, I need closure for my spiritual development. Oh, no, you don't. Oh, no, you don't. I'm going to tell you what right goddamn now. Nothing will cause you to do quantum fucking leaps in ascension, evolution, healing, like you finding closure yourself without that apology, without the person coming and telling you the truth, without them apologizing and telling you what their true intentions were and this and that. You being able to find that in your own heart without having something validated for you that you want to hear, that'll turn you into a different person. Your family will have to get to know you all over again. But here's the point that I'm getting at. I kind of trailed off there a little bit. Even if you do want to reconcile, you still have to close the old cycle out. You still have to. Doesn't matter what you want to do. It doesn't matter if you want to just move forward and find somebody new, or if you want to bring that person back and try it again. You still have to close the old chapter. You still have to. Period. If you don't, that energy will manifest itself and bubble up to the surface and express itself and animate itself and manifest itself between you and anyone you bring into your life. You could hop on a plane and fly 10 states away to a new city where nobody knows who the hell you are, where the climate is different than anything you've ever felt before. You're seeing plants you've never seen before. You're seeing bugs and animals you've never seen before. You're so fucking far away from anything you've ever known. That energy is still stuck to you. It ain't going nowhere. So let's close this out. And then cross the next bridge when you get to it. Sound like a plan? All right. Let's see if anything new is coming in for the singles in the second week of June. By the way, happy birthday to my Gemini friends. Forgot to say that at the beginning, didn't I? We in Gemini season, boy! You know what that means, right? The mutable signs are the end of the season. So it's time for the next cycle to begin, Cancer season. That's the next cycle. Isn't that fascinating how that works? The cardinal signs are kicking off the new cycle. The fixed signs are the plateau period in the middle of the cycle. And the mutable signs are the transitionary process out of that cycle. And then it starts all over again. So we're going to be going into Cancer, Cardinal, Fixed, Leo, Mutable, Virgo. And then it starts over again. Libra, Cardinal, Scorpio, Fixed, Sagittarius, Mutable. And then again, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Cardinal, Fixed, Mutable. That's the whole cycle. Anyway, I'm pulling in a lot of Gemini energy, ain't I? I'm just blabbing my fucking ass off. Tee-hee. All right, anything new coming in for the Geminis? Anything new? Boom, boom, boom. Five of Wands reverse. It's a weird card to jump out first thing. Boom. Five of Swords. Ooh. Okay, Ace of Swords. Okay. Ooh, I don't like this energy. I don't like this energy. Yeah. Look. I'm feeling like there's somebody that you would never suspect trying to clandestinely and covertly weasel their way into your life. And it feels like somebody that you know, but somebody you would never expect. Good old classic case example. For example, let's say you got a friend at the workplace, right? And usually, I hate to say this, but most of the time, this happens to women more than it does men. I've seen it happen the other way too, but usually about 80 to 90% of the time, this usually happens to women. So I'm going to use an example from the female perspective. A female has a male friend at the workplace, and then this other male friend warns her, hey, he's just trying to fuck you. He's just trying, oh no, he don't think like that. Oh, he wouldn't do that. I've known him for 2 years. Oh no. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And then you end up finding later on down the line that he showed a fuck was, right? So something along the energetic dynamics of that. I'm not saying it's a friend at the workplace. Maybe it is for some of you, but it just kind of seems like there's somebody in your life somewhere. Maybe it's a friend of the family. Maybe it's a coworker. Maybe it's your boss. Somebody. Or maybe if you work at a place where there's customer service and you have a regular customer that comes in and they're very, very, very friendly with you and you don't think twice about it. You just think they're super fucking friendly. There's somebody kind of trying to weasel their way in there. Where'd it go? I just had it. Five of Swords. Five of Swords is defeat at all cost. Basically, I'm going to get what I want, and I don't care what I have to do to get it. I don't care who I have to lie to, who I have to steal from, who I have to cheat, fuck over, manipulate, throw under the bus. I don't care how long I have to wait. I'm going to get what I want. And just saying, hey, ladies, there are some very pathetic men out there who will wait years pretending to be your friend just for a chance to hit that. Yeah, they will. Yeah, they will. When a man warns you about that, listen to him. He's not being jealous. He's not being insecure. He's telling you the truth. I don't know who needed to hear that. I know somebody did. But that's kind of what I'm feeling like is happening here. But I don't know. I'm not really feeling like, with this Strength card here, I'm not really feeling like it's coming to a crescendo in the second week of June. You may not even know what in the hell I'm talking about. Like, who the fuck could that be? It may not even be anywhere close to revealing itself right now, but it's there. Okay, well, I guess let's get the advice. That's a weird message, dude. I don't think I've ever seen that come through before. Not a reading. Blue, the blue buddy blue. What's the advice? Ooh, Two of Cups reversed. Seven of Swords reversed. Well, this is tricky advice. See, situations like this can be hard to advise because there are some things that you have to learn from experience, period. I have a teenage daughter who turned 14 this year. And now she's starting to get her little boyfriends in junior high and whatnot, and I tell her the same thing. I'm like, I can sit here and tell you till I'm blue in the face, and I will. I'll tell you and teach you and tell you and teach you and teach you and tell you and tell you and teach you. But there's some things that I can teach and preach and lecture and gossip until my face turns blue and the cows come home. You have to learn from experience, period. So that's where in a situation like this, I'm a little bit nervous to give advice on this, honestly. The only thing that I think I can say is that you pay attention to subtle shifts in energy in a person's behavior. Pay attention to subtle shifts in energy. Don't allow yourself to get so distracted and so comfortable with somebody and so trustworthy with somebody that you just quit paying attention to their energy. Because, it's human nature. We all do that. Once it gets to a point where we're so trusting with someone, well, maybe, you know what? Let me retract that a little bit. Be careful who you trust. Sometimes, one thing that I've seen, Gemini, sometimes y'all can be a little too trusting. Sometimes. Depending on how much shit you've been through. But generally speaking, most Geminis that I've connected with are very bubbly, very social, very happy, very talkative, most of them, for the most part. Don't let that get in the way to the point to where you're not paying attention to somebody's energy, okay? I'm not saying don't be friendly. I'm not saying none of that. Just no matter how friendly you are, no matter how bubbly you are, just always be watching. Always be watching. Always be paying attention. With an open mind, okay? I'm not saying throw your guard up and be all scared and paranoid. Just be paying attention. And whenever you start to notice a subtle shift in energy, step back. Boom. Well, what's going on with you? You got to say nothing necessarily. Just boom. Whoa, what's going on with you? I'm watching. Soon as I notice or detect a little energetic shift in you, boom, the alarm goes off. I'm like, whoa, what's going on with you? What's the deal with you? And if it ends up being nothing, okay, false flag. But, just be sure to keep your radar on for subtle shifts in energy. I do kind of feel like a lot of you have somebody in your life. I don't know how long you've known this person. I don't know if it's somebody you've been friends with for 2 years, or a new hire that just got hired on at the workplace that made friends with you real quick. Just pay attention to shifts in energy, and pay attention to slow, gradual shifts in energy, because that's another way some people can go about shit too. Not just a subtle shift in energy, but a slow, gradual shift in energy, so that you may not even notice it happening, but if you pause and think back to 6 months to a year ago, you were different. Why? Just pay attention to people's energy, okay? All right, y'all. I feel like those were the messages that my Gemini family needed to hear. So I am going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget the information for personal readings is in the description. And for those of you who missed the memo, I got to talk about the courses, okay? Something unexpected happened. I told you I didn't know what I had planned as to what course I was going to do. Well, this was even more unexpected than that. It turns out we're changing platforms, okay? We found out that the platform that we have the courses on is tripling their monthly service fee. Tripling it. So we said, fuck that, we're just switching platforms. So between now and June 9th, there's going to be a bundle package for all of the courses. My courses include How to Read the Tarot, Part 1 and 2, How to Attract Your Life Partner, Finding Your Life's Purpose, Manifesting Financial Abundance, The Steps to True Healing, and The Beginner's Guide to Manifestation. I'm also working on one behind the scenes right now, but those 7 are the ones that I have in my school. Now, if you buy a course, you'll have access to it permanently, okay? But if you haven't bought any of them, after the 9th of June, they're going bye-bye, and I have no clue when we're going to be able to have them back up. It's usually a long, drawn-out, painstaking process to put one course together, and we got all 7 of them to move over. So hopefully we can get it done in a couple of months. Hopefully. I don't know, though. So... the link for that's in the description, and the links for everything else and all the other info that you need for my social medias and everything else is all in the description, all right? I'm out of here now, y'all. I will see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity.